3 reasons why fathers hate their daughters. And again, this is from my own personal experience with my father. 1, he's a misogynist. 2, he's sexist. 3, he's narcissistic. Now let me give you examples on all 3. My mother did not marry my father until I was about 7 years old. They got married in my grandparents' living room. I didn't even watch their ceremony. At 7 years old, I hated my father. He was a drunk. He was abusive. And I remember sitting in that hallway feeling like my life was about to come to an end. There wasn't a day that went by he did not beat my brother and I, but he beat me the most. And he beat me the most because I was a girl. My dad partied a lot. He always had barbecues at the house, meaning we always had a yard full of men. And I was molested a lot because he was always somewhere drunk. This one time he had locked me and my brother and his cousin's kids outside. His cousin had a 15-year-old stepson, and this little boy was trying to touch me, and I was running from him. I run to the door and knock on the door, but they wouldn't answer the door. So when my dad's cousin and his family finally left, I went to my parents, and I told them what his cousin's son was trying to do to me. My dad made me get on all fours, on my hands and my knees on the side of his bed, and he beat me with an extension cord. He told me that I wanted that little boy to do what he was trying to do to me. And my mom sat there and let him. He talked about and demeaned me every single day of my life, as he did other women, his sisters, my grandmother, women in general. He just hated. When I became an adult, I always went periods of time where I just did not have a relationship with this man because he was just toxic. And the last time I was cordial with him was because he reached out to me. He asked for us to mend our relationship in case anything happened to him. And his words were, I don't know why we can't get along and what's wrong or anything like that. And I said, it's because you're misogynistic, Dad. He said, what's that? I said, you're a man and you hate women. He said, oh, hell yeah, I can't stand them motherfuckers. They ain't shit. They this and they that and they this and they that. I looked at him and I said, I'm a woman. Your granddaughter is going to be a woman. Well, y'all are different. Y'all belong to me. The same breath he stated as he was watching TV. You see them girls right there? Mika used to be shaped just like them girls. With them hip-hop girls, them loving hip-hop girls. Mika used to be shaped just like them. I made sure she wore t-shirts and long basketball shorts. And I'll never forget, there's this association football field in a town that we grew up in. And my brother was playing football and I was at one of his practices. Tommy Minyard was this new white boy at our school. He was fine. I waved at him, he waved at me. Right there in that football field, my dad kicked me as hard as he could. I'll do a part 2.
It's Black Male Advice TV, fam. We got to talk about this one. The real issues that nobody want to cover. We in the building again for another one. Black Male Advice TV. Make sure you subscribe today. The best reactionary channel on YouTube, hands down. Listen, we got to talk about this particular issue here because a lot of you folks out there get deceived, and it's up to Black Male Advice TV to dissect these videos, break them down with commentary and criticism. Because a lot of you folks out there, you're so easily manipulated by drama and propaganda. We're gonna break this thing down right now. I took a look at this, and clearly there's a lot of red flags, a lot of propaganda, a lot of lies, a lot of deception, and I want to talk about this. Now, this particular woman pretty much made a TikTok, and she claims that she is speaking out against men and men this and men that. Everything is about men for whatever reason now. Everything is about men. Now, I titled this particular video, 3 Reasons Why Modern Women Despise Their Fathers. Not 3 reasons why fathers hate their daughters. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. This woman right here suffers from deep trauma and hurt that she endured dealing with different men. And she's taken her frustration out on a man that she claimed is her father. that we don't know the background on, that we don't have the other side of the story on. Listen, number 2, she has 0 things to say about her mom. That is where the red flag comes in, because for whatever reason, everything centers around this man. This man is horrible. This man is misogynistic. This man hates women. This man. But I didn't hear not one thing about what the mom did wrong. I haven't heard one thing about what her family did wrong. Everything that happened to her is to blame on her father. She holds no part in this, even though she's the one checking out boys talking about, oh yeah, he's cute. But she want to hit you with all these little sob stories that tickle your emotions. Oh, we're not going to fall for that here on Black Male Advice TV. Oh no, we're not going to fall for that mess. Let's react to this. Let's get into this. We have a lot of work to do, a lot of work. So make sure you get the likes up on the video. We're going to also cover part 2. Oh yeah, we got a lot of work to do. We're going to literally destroy all of these myths, all of these lies, all of this deception that they got going out here on social media. We're going to destroy all of that stuff. Yes, indeed. Let's react to this. Let's go.
3 reasons why fathers hate their daughters.
Now, that right there starts off as a lie automatically. 3 reasons why fathers hate their daughters. No, fathers don't hate their daughters. You ladies hate your fathers. Let's keep it 1,000. It's not fathers hate their daughters. You ladies hate your fathers, and you're carrying around a lot of bitterness. And this is one of the reasons why you're going to never find a man, because the issues that you have in today's day, and one of the main issues, especially for you brothers to understand about modern women, the reason why they can't seem to find a man, why they can't never settle down, why they will never be a wife, it's because of daddy issues. This is what they are suffering with in today's modern time. It's daddy issues. It's not the fact that their dad did anything wrong to them. The truth of the matter is their mom got with a man that was no good. And because of that, they're blaming their father for everything bad in their life while leaving the mom with no accountability whatsoever. In other words, mom is not at fault for anything. That's what's really going on here. Let's break this thing down. This is a real deep topic. Let's go.
And again, this is from my own personal experience.
Her own personal experiences. Notice this. Her own personal experiences. Her own personal experiences, but she want you to believe that men hate their daughters. That's what she want you to believe. Based on her experience now, all men seem to hate their daughters. Let's get into this. Let's go.
My father. 1, he's a misogynist.
Her father is a misogynist. Well, let me ask you a question, young lady. Your mom chose to mate with that guy. What about your mom? What is your mom? A saint? What is your mom? She's the one who got with that guy. She saw that he was fit enough to have you. So you want me to believe that he's a misogynist, but yet he took the time to deal with your mom. See, we're going to deal with the real issues here because, see, your little story sounds all sentimental. It'll get under a lot of people's emotions. You'll have a large following because everybody will be gravitating towards you because they can all relate to those same abuse type stories. Women love being hurt. They love drama. They love all the chaos. They can't get enough of that type of madness. So they're going to appreciate you talking that madness because they also hate their fathers too, with a passion. And this is why none of them could ever settle down, have a husband, have a happy home ever. But they have all these kids out of wedlock. They dealt with all of these Pookies and Ray Rays, and they're troubled in their heart. But they blame everything on the father that was never there. But they hold the mom not guilty. The mom is never at fault for anything when she's the one who chose to lay with that man. Oh yeah. Let's break this thing down. We got a lot of work to do. Let's go.
2, he's sexist.
He's sexist. Really? Your father is sexist. Where's the data on that? Where's the facts? How do we know your father is sexist? How do we know that? How could we substantiate the things that you're claiming about your father? We don't have him here. How do we know you're not lying because you're bitter about your father? How do we know you're telling the truth? Because I don't trust you off the top. It's something about your demeanor that just tells me that you just don't like men. You just don't like black men in particular. That's what I'm getting. What I'm getting is that you don't like black men. What I'm getting is that you have a deep hatred for black men for whatever reason, whatever happened in your life, in your past, you're blaming all black men as if though we're all like your so-called father, which we don't know. But for whatever reason, you want us to believe that this guy is a horrible person when he's not here to defend himself. And see, this is the problem with social media, is that you can have people that will come on social media, start a TikTok, start a YouTube, spit some rhetoric. You believe it, but you ain't even hear nobody else's side, but you automatically take up with whatever they say. That's wrong. That's bad. You should never, ever just go with what someone say without hearing another person's side. This woman is struggling from deep trauma, deep hurt inside that she dealt with dealing with other black men. And because of that, she's spewing her anger and her frustration towards her father because she's looking for someone to blame. Why? Because modern women never take accountability for their own actions. So they're always looking for somebody to blame. Let's go.
3, he's narcissistic.
So now he's narcissistic. Anytime you hear a woman talking about a man as narcissistic, please understand that she's the one who's the narcissist. They always say this stuff. Listen, in order for someone to be a narcissist, they would have to be diagnosed, which means they would have to have a medical exam that can prove that they are, in fact, a narcissist. So you cannot just come on social media and say your father is a narcissistic or a narcissist or whatever the case is. You can't just say that. Why would we just believe what you say? Where are the facts to substantiate the claims that you're making about your father? See, this is why y'all don't even live long. The Bible says to honor thy mother and thy father that thy days may be long. But you're not doing that. You're dishonoring. You're dishonoring your father and you're blaming him for the actions that you literally participated in. And also you're blaming your father for things that other people did for you, which is not cool. At no point did I hear you blame your mom about anything. At no point. And that's a red flag. That's how we know it's not your father that hate you. It's you that hate your father. Let's go.
Now let me give you examples on all 3.
All your examples are pure lies. I don't care how touchy it sounds. I can see through your lies. Let's go.
My mother did not marry my father until I was about 7 years old. They got married in my grandparents' living room. I didn't even watch their ceremony.
So you didn't even watch their ceremony. That's what you want us to believe. So let me get this straight. Your father married your mom at 7 years old. They had a ceremony in the living room, but you didn't even want to watch the ceremony. So already you didn't like that man. Already you had a problem. Now, the question we need to ask is this. Is he your biological father or is he your stepfather? We need to know. Is he your biological father or is he your stepfather? And it doesn't really matter which one he is. The point of the matter is, from that opening point that you made, you appear to be the one that have an issue with this man for whatever reason, but you never had nothing to say about your mom actually wifing, becoming his wife. You ain't have no problem with that. I don't see you casting any blame. I don't see you, telling your mom that you ain't good. Why you married a guy like that? He's a horrible person. You ain't got no smoke for your mom. For whatever reason, you don't got nothing to say about your mom. Let's go.
At 7 years old, I hated my father.
At 7 years old, you hated your father. So you automatically confessed to the public that it was you that hated your father. It wasn't that your father hated you. Again, she was the one who hated her father at 7 years old. At 7 years old, how could you even have hate in your heart at that age? Certainly, you've been through a lot of trauma and hurt and pains. Until this day, as a grown adult, you're still not healed from that. So there's no way you can help any woman or be any sort of activist or any sort of spokesperson or influencer when it comes to issues like this, because you are still struggling inside with internal demons. Oh yeah, let's go. You got work to do.
He was a drunk. He was abusive. And I remember sitting.
He was a drunk and he was abusive. So why nobody didn't call the cops? If your father was a drunk and he was abusive, why nobody didn't call the cops to put him away? See, anybody can say somebody was a drunk and they were abusive. My thing is, if that's the case, why your family didn't intervene, why nobody in the community didn't intervene, why nobody didn't call the cops, and if he was so abusive towards children, Why child social services wasn't called into play by your mom and everybody else? Why there was no phone calls made? Talk to me. See, this is why I don't even believe your story at all. And I don't feel sorry for you at all either. Let's go.
In that hallway, feeling like my life was about to come to an end.
So you felt like your life was coming to an end in the hallway, but whatever reason, you blame your father for all of this, but I don't see you even gravitating towards your mom. Did you and your mom even have a relationship to begin with? Because you seem to have a lot of hatred for the father for whatever reason, but let's go.
There wasn't a day that went by he did not beat my brother and I.
So there was not a day that went by that he hadn't beat you and your brother. And at the age you're at right now, you're still focused on all of that drama rather than moving on as an adult. You're still wallowing around in the mud, worrying about your childhood upbringing, right? How can you help younger women, or any woman for that matter, when you're carrying around all of this bitterness in your heart? You can't help nobody at this point because you got work to do. You need to see a therapist at this point. Let's go.
But he beat me the most.
He beat you the most. So let me get this straight. He beat you the most because you're a girl. That's what you want to believe, right?
And he beat me the most because I was a girl.
Because you was a girl. He beat you the most because you were a girl. That's what you want us to believe. Do you have any data or facts that can substantiate the fact that he beat you the most because you're a girl over your so-called brother? That's what you want us to believe? I don't believe that story.
My dad partied a lot.
Your dad party a lot? What about your mom? Did your mom party a lot? Because it seemed like everything you're talking about is regarding your dad partying a lot. What about your mom? Was your mom an alcoholic? Was your mom a drunk? Did your mom use drugs? What really is going on with your mom? Because for whatever reason, it don't seem like your mom was even there for you. Because if you're in all of this trouble, normally mothers protect their daughters. So I am not buying your story. I'm not buying your story. I don't believe it.
He always had barbecues at the house.
He always had barbecues at the house. So now we're literally established that there was a house and he always had barbecues, which means people were always at the house, which means your mom should be at the house. So the question is why your mom was not around you. If all of these things was happening, where was your mom to so-called be there to monitor what's happening? See, again, I don't believe your story, and I believe you're doing this to sensationalize stories, to literally play with the emotions of women that actually been through drama, that actually been through a lot of issues in life, and you're using that to build a following on TikTok. I clearly can see through the lies, family. You are lying. Let's go.
Meaning we always had a yard full of men.
You always had a yard full of men. Only men are in the yard, right? No women are nowhere around. Your mother's nowhere around. It's just a yard full of men. And what you're trying to imply, that all the grown men was trying to mess with you, right? That's what you want us to believe, right? I don't believe a word you say up to this part. And let me tell you something, brothers. There are a lot of women like this that in their younger years, they were the type of woman or the type of young lady that used to cast blame on different people to try to get different people into different problems. And they would lie continuously and have a lot of hatred for men. And this thing grows up with them as to adulthood. Even till now, there's a lot of women that are just like her. They hate all men for whatever reason. They just hate men. They hate their father because that's where it stemmed from. It starts with the father that they hate the most. Let's go.
I was molested a lot.
So you are molested a lot. So now you blame your father for that. Let me tell you something, ladies. Let me tell you something. I don't appreciate when people use stories of abuse and then they try to blame it on their father and they don't even look at the things that they done and or the people that were around them and or the people that did whatever thing around them. And yet there's no arrests going on. There's no people held accountable. We don't hear nothing about anything. I don't want to hear none of these stories. I don't want to hear these stories. You know why? Because a lot of times women come on social media and they'll tell you about how they were abused, they were molested, this was happening, that was happening. Where was your mom? Why your mom was not there for you? Where was she? Where was she? Because here's the thing. I don't know you personally. I don't even know if your story is true or not. And I really don't care because at the end of the day, I know how social media works. People will come on social media. They'll make up any sort of story to get the crowd to come and look at them, to get the crowd to feel sorry for them, to get the crowd to do this. We seen it the other day where you had a woman who literally told the public that her so-called baby daddy, for whatever reason, he didn't bring all the children McDonald's. And she threw his McDonald's out and it made it look like, wow, this is a real life scenario. But that whole situation was staged to play with the emotions of people. You understand? And you have women that will use abuse. You have women that will use domestic issues. You have women that will use all sorts of drama to come online and cater to the people's minds. And then they build a following. They're able to get cash apps. They're able to get GoFundMes. They get to get all sorts of treatments. Why? Because they're using sob stories. You're a grown adult. Whatever happened to you as a child, where was your mother? Why she was not there for you? I don't even hear you mentioning her name. But for whatever reason, you blame your father for everything that happened to you. And that's bad. I'm not buying it at all. What I see here is a woman who hates her father. And that's sad.
Because he was always somewhere drunk.
So because your father was always somewhere drunk, you're blaming the fact that you claim you were abused and whatever the case is when you was a kid, but yet you're not talking about where was your mom. If your father was always somewhere drunk, where was your mother? Nobody don't want to talk about that. Why you ain't talking about that? Where was your father? I mean, your so-called mom. Why she wasn't there for you? Where was your mom? Was she around somewhere drunk? See, you're making it seem like the father was drunk, but you're not even talking about your mom. What was she doing? See, again, women are always talking about a man, but they never hold a woman accountable. Let's go.
This one time he had locked me and my brother and his cousin's kids outside.
So he locked you and your brother's kids outside. You want us to believe that? Okay, so let me get this straight. He locked you, your brother, and the kids, or whatever the case is, outside. Where was your mom to let you inside? Where was your mom? Where was your mom? Why she was nowhere around? If he locked you outside, where was your mom?
His cousin had a 15-year-old stepson.
His cousin had a 15-year-old stepson. You see where this is going? His cousin had a 15-year-old stepson. Do you see where this is going? His cousin had a 15-year-old stepson. Let's go.
This little boy was trying to touch me.
This little boy was trying to touch her. This little boy was trying to touch her. Let's go.
And I was running and running and running from him.
So you was running and running from him, but you didn't run to your mother. You didn't pick up the phone to call 911. You didn't go to your next door neighbor. You didn't go to a guidance counselor in school. You were trying to run from the 15-year-old. That's what you want us to believe. Now, let me tell you something. These kind of stories are so well put together on social media that it really garners the sympathy of people, and everybody starts to feel sorry, and they're like, oh man, I can't believe this. And then you have a bunch of women that because they actually experience things like this, they gravitate towards platforms like that, and they give those type of people so much support. Why? Because it seems like, wow, we could relate with each other. But the truth of the matter is you're dealing with a lot of hurt and trauma and bitterness, and a lot of people will use these kind of stories to gather an audience and a following. Again, if you're running from this boy, if you're running from him, you mean to tell me your mom was nowhere around to be there for you? Okay, let's say your dad was a piece of trash. Where was your mom? Why she was nowhere around? Nobody seems to talk about that part, right? That's the missing key. Nobody want to talk about the mom. To all the women in the clouds, again, I ask, where was the mom? Nobody got answers for me, right? Okay, cool.
I run to the door and knock on the door, but they wouldn't answer the door.
So they're all in the house. Nobody's answering the door, but you're running from a boy that's trying to touch you, right? But your brother is not doing anything either, right? So your brother is not interested in helping you at all, right? So nobody's helping you. Your brother is outside with you. Another boy you're alleging is trying to touch you, but your brother got nothing to say, right? He don't got nothing to say. Your mom is nowhere to be found, right? She won't let you in the house. Your story is not adding up. I don't believe it at all. Let's go.
So when my dad's cousin and his family finally left, I went to my parents and I told them what his cousin's son was trying to do to me.
So you told your parents. You said you told your parents, which includes your mom. So why your mom didn't come out and open that door for you? What was your mom doing? See, you got all this smoke and all this blame for your father, talking about he had y'all outside and some boy was chasing you around. But where was your mom? You said you told your parents. Okay, that would include your mom. See, I'm thinking logically. You know what I mean? If I'm an investigator and I was investigating you, I would clearly lock you up because I can tell that you're lying. I can tell that you're trying to sensationalize a story to make everyone hate your father, but not just hate your father. This is all propaganda and designed for women, modern women, to hate black men. That's what this is about. Let's go.
My dad made me get on all fours.
Your dad made you get on all fours, right? That's what you want us to believe. Let's go.
On my hands and my knees.
On your hands and your knees. It sounds so degrading. It sounds so horrible. We can literally visualize exactly what's happening. But do we have any facts that can prove that this actually happened? Or do we just believe stories with one side? Where's your father's side? Oh, we don't got that side. But we supposed to believe you, right? Let's hear the rest of this.
Side of his bed, and he beat me with an extension cord.
So he beat you with an extension cord, right? This is what you want us to believe, right? With an extension cord, when you're trying to tell him that something was happening to you, or you felt that something was allegedly about to happen to you. But notice, I don't hear nothing about your brother being in that room with you as a witness of what was going on. I don't hear that. But for some reason, you want us to believe that he was whooping you with some extension cord. That's what you want us to believe. Let's go.
He told me that I wanted that little boy to do.
So he told you that you wanted that little boy to do that. You want us to believe that a father is telling you this. You really want me to believe that, right? Okay, let's go.
What he was trying to do to me. And my mom sat there and let him.
You said your mom sat there and let him. Interesting. Interesting. So she publicly confessed that her mom sat there and let him, but you got no smoke or hatred for your mom. Y'all don't see a problem here? So her mom is in on the madness, but she got no smoke for her mom. Her hatred is for her father. But she got nothing to say about her mom. So your mom didn't call the police. Your mom didn't even listen to your story, but you got nothing to say about your mom. You ain't got nothing to tell your guidance counselors in school, your family, relatives. Nobody have anything to say about this. So the whole time your mom is in on what's going on, but you got nothing to say about your mom. But everybody in your TikToks is going in on men. Black man this, black man that, black man this, black man that. But nobody got nothing to say about your mother. See, here on Black Male Advice TV, we break things down. Again, this is the best reactionary channel on YouTube. We don't sugarcoat nothing. We tell you what it is, raw and uncut. And the way I'm breaking this thing down is I'm looking at it logically to literally gather evidence on what's going on. This woman have nothing negative to say about her own mother. As far as she's concerned, her father is a demon and her mom is an angel, even though her mom sat by and watched the father do whatever she's alleging that the father did to make us believe her side of a story that is one-sided, by the way. Let's go.
He talked about and demeaned me every single day of my life.
He talked about and demeaned you every single day of your life. So you want us to believe that every single day of your life, you've been going through all of this drama. And your mom is there the whole time. And you're attending a public school. And your school counselors and all these different people, they have no idea what's going on. And it was just all kept under the rug, right? And the whole time throughout your whole life, your mom knows about this, but you got no problem with your mom. Your problem is with your father. Let that make sense, people.
As he did other women.
As he did other women, right? As he did other women. So now he's doing this to all these other women, but we don't got them coming forward as witnesses at all. Y'all can't see the agenda. Y'all can't see the propaganda. Y'all can't see through the lies. As he did other women, but yet your mom is with him, but you got no smoke for your mom. So your mom is with him and you have no smoke for her, but you want us to believe that he did this thing to only women, not men. You want us to believe that lie. Okay, go ahead.
his sisters, my grandmother.
So he was out there abusing all your sisters, your grandmother, everybody. He was being abused by this one man, but nobody called the cops on this man. This man just literally just do whatever he want. Wow.
Women in general, he just hated. When I became an adult.
So he just hated women. So he just hated women, but he was with your mom. Y'all can't see the propaganda. Y'all can't see through the lies. Let's go.
I always went periods of time where I just did not have a relationship with this man because he was just toxic.
So he was just toxic. You didn't have a relationship with him because he was toxic. Isn't that the same type of mentality that BWs have towards the majority of black men today? That you see all of us brothers as toxic. Do you see, brothers? Peep the game. What you see modern women dealing with is all the trauma, the hurt, and the lies, and the bitterness, and all the resentment they have towards their father. This is why they hate black men so much, fam. Open your eyes and see the reality.
The last time I was cordial with him was because he reached out to me. He asked for us to mend our relationship in case anything happened to him.
So hold up. He asked to mend your relationship in case anything happened to him. Now, why would a man that's abusive, a man that hate you, a man that do all of that would reach out to you and tell you all of that? You're not making any sense, fam. Like none at all. But let's go.
His words were, I don't know why we can't get along and what's wrong or anything like that. And I said, it's because you're misogynistic, Dad.
So you told your dad that the reason why y'all can't get along is because he's misogynistic. That's the word that you use towards your father. What did he say?
He said, what's that?
So he said, what's that? People, when I tell you that social media is one big lie, there are so many people that are on platforms lying every day to make up a story, to have content to share with you. And they sensationalize stories every day, having you believing that they're a victim of something, that they were abused, that they were hurt. And this is how these people make their living. Off of lies, fam. Let's go.
I said, you're a man and you hate women.
So you told your father that he's a man and he hate women. What did he say?
He said, oh, hell yeah, I can't stand them motherfuckers.
So he told you that, but yet he's with your mom. This is what you want us to believe. So he can't stand women, but he's with your mom. But you don't got no problem with your mom at all. Okay.
They ain't shit. They this and they that and they this and they that. I looked at him and I said, I'm a woman.
Maybe he didn't know that you're a woman. Maybe he didn't know. But all jokes aside, are you really serious? Because I don't believe nothing you saying. It's just something about you. I just don't believe a word you say. You sound like a compulsive liar. I haven't even studied everything on your TikTok, but I can clearly see based on my examination of these particular clips and my commentary about it, that you're a compulsive liar. You look like you never tell the truth. Like you literally lie for a living. That's what I'm seeing. And there's a lot of women like this, brothers. A lot of women that literally spend all their days on social media lying every single day, full of drama, nothing but stories after stories, lies on top of lies. And it gravitates with people that are poisoned just like that. In other words, hurt people love to hurt people, and hurt people with trauma gravitate towards other hurt people. Why? Because misery loves company.
Your granddaughter is going to be a woman.
Your granddaughter is going to be a woman. You're trying to convince him that his granddaughter is going to be a woman. Okay.
Y'all are different. Y'all belong to me.
Y'all are different. Y'all belong to me. Now, if he said y'all are different and y'all belong to me, that would contradict all the negative things that you said that he did to you. Because if you want us to believe that he hate women and he said what he said about, oh, those blanks and this and that, okay, let's just rock with that, right? But now if he said, but y'all are different, meaning y'all with him, then that mean he don't got no hatred for you, which mean all the stuff you told us that he did to you that's abusive, you lied. I can see through your lies, fam. Let's go.
In the same breath he stated, as he was watching TV, you see them girls right there? Mika used to be shaped just like them girls. With them hip-hop girls, them loving hip-hop girls. Mika used to be shaped just like them.
So he's telling you as a young girl that somebody used to be shaped like them. telling you, you can't make this up, people.
Made sure she wore t-shirts and long basketball shorts. And I'll never forget, there's this association football field in a town that we grew up in. And my brother was playing football and I was at one of his practices. Tommy Minyard was this new white boy at our school.
A new white boy at her school. A new white boy, check it out.
He was fine.
And she said he was fine. Do you see that? She said the white boy's fine. Okay?
I waved at him, he waved at me.
So you waved at him. You waved at the white boy and he waved back at you. Okay.
Right there on that football field, my dad kicked me.
So let me get this straight. You waved at the white boy waved at you, and you want us to believe that your father just came up to you and kicked you. Where was your mom? Where was your mom? And why was your dad there? Why would your dad be there? Your dad don't got a job, something to go to? How does your dad appear at the school, at the football field? See, you gotta use your mind and think logically, or else you'll get caught up in the lies. Let's go.
As hard as he could.
So he did it. So not only did he kick you, but he kicked you as hard as he could. On a football field in front of witnesses, and nobody called the cops. Okay, we believe you. Let's go.
I'll do a part 2.
So you're going to do a part 2. Oh, fam. Man. Wow. Do you see all the stuff that we had to unpack in this particular video here? How many of you believe her story? How many of you don't? Put your comments in the comments section and voice your thoughts on what you think about this story. Me personally, I don't believe a word she says. I believe the entire story is fabricated. I believe she's doing this for social media and clout, and this is typical of what goes on social media, where women will come on, lie, make up stories, and drag their fathers down the mud, but they have nothing to say about their mothers. At no point in this particular video did she even question her mom. Did she question her mom's love? Did she question anything regarding her mom? Her mom is innocent. Peep the game. Anyway, it's Black Male Advice TV, the best reactionary channel on YouTube, hands down, #1. Make sure you subscribe today for more content. We'll be back with the next video, part 2. Oh yeah, we'll be back, fam. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out.